Hi, I'm Divya Sharma, also known as Dr. Bowl, and welcome to Small Budget, Big Flavours, where I'll be showing you how to combine great food and fine dining, but all in a cost-effective way. And today I'm going to be showing you how to create a really exquisite afternoon tea, all on a budget. So I'll be making some egg sandwiches, some cucumber and herb triple deckers, and some espresso martini cocktail fancies. I just can't wait to show my family what a lavish spread I've put on for them. So let's get baking. So now we're ready to make our cake base. Preheated my oven to 180 degrees and I've got all my cake ingredients here. So all we need to do is just pour all of our cake ingredients apart from the liqueur into our mixing bowl. So now our cake batter is ready. It should look something like this. It's a really smooth and creamy consistency. And we're ready to pour our batter into the prepared tin. And I've got a prepared baking dish. I've used some greaseproof paper, but you could use any like softened butter if you haven't got any greaseproof paper. So now we've put our cake batter in the prepared dish. It's ready to go in the oven at about 180 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. We can get on to make our filling. We're just going to pop all our ingredients in our stand mixer. So now our buttercream filling is ready. It should look something like this, really creamy and luxurious. And we can pop it in the piping bag now. So I've taken the cake out of the oven and I've let it cool completely. The next step is to slice off the top layer of cake so we get a nice even layer. So now we've taken off the top of the cake to even it out. We're just going to neaten up the sides as well. So just carefully slice it with a knife. Just be careful of your fingers. So the next step is to flip it over. So now we need to cut into 4 centimeter squares, so you should end up with 28 squares. And then so where I've marked, I'm just going to slice down, making sure they're really nice and straight. We just need to turn the chopping board around and do exactly the same, but lengthwise. So now we have our 28 squares, we are ready to decorate them. So we're just going to get each individual cake and just let that cake absorb all that delicious liqueur, and just repeat that with every cake slice. If you don't drink alcohol or you want to reduce your budget, you can actually use a vanilla syrup instead of the liqueur, or just omit this stage. So now we've dipped all our cake squares into the liqueur, we're ready to decorate with some chocolate spread. So just using a small spoon, we just want to put a tiny dot on each individual square. So now we've topped all our cake squares with the chocolate spread, we're ready to pipe our buttercream. This should be about a raspberry sized ball, and try and put it over the chocolate. So now our cakes have all been piped, we can pop them in the fridge so they harden, so it'll be easier for us to work with them later. So now our cakes are being set in the fridge and we're ready to make our icing. So the first step is to pour about a teaspoon of water into our espresso powder to make a paste. So we just need to keep mixing until we get that paste consistency. So now you can see that it's become much thicker. We can now pop that into our icing sugar. And we're just going to give this a really good whisk. So what I would suggest is just gradually pour in a tiny bit of water at a time and just keep mixing after every time you've put in that extra bit of water. If you don't have any fondant icing sugar, you could use just normal icing sugar instead. So now you can see that the icing sugar has turned into like a condensed milk texture, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So I've just got our cakes out from the fridge, and now we are ready to dip our cakes into the icing. So I've also got our chocolate melting on the stove, ready for decorating later. So I melted my chocolate in the bain-marie earlier on. You could also use a microwave to melt your chocolate. I popped it in a piping bag and now we're ready to decorate our fancies. Just drizzle it on carefully. I've also popped some greaseproof paper at the bottom to catch the chocolate. So I popped my fancies in the fridge to set and now we are ready to make our sandwiches because you can't have afternoon tea without sandwiches. So now we've chopped up our eggs, we're going to add it to our mayonnaise. So now we're moving on to our cucumber and herb triple deckers. So I've just got some cream cheese here. I'm just going to season with some salt and some pepper and add in our herbs and some chives. And then give that a really good mix so it's all combined. Then we're just going to butter our bread again. Now this is what I call an exquisite spread, and can you believe it only costs 65p per serving? What a bargain. And I've even used my fancy teapots and cutlery to make it that extra bit special. Now I can't wait to present this to my family.